What is up, guys? So today I'm going to be talking to you about The Walking Dead, how it should end. And I'm going to do two parts to this. One is going to be where how I think that they are going to end it, the producers. And then the second part is going to be how, if I were the producer, how I would want it to end. So let's first talk about how many seasons that it should end and how long it's going to go on. I think that the TV show is going to go on until basically the fans start to get a little bit tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to the point to where they hate the show, but they're saying okay, this is enough. We've had a lot of seasons. It's a great show, and it's just time to hang up the coat and just go inside. So it's I think they may go on to 10 seasons, at most probably 13. Now we're going to talk about how I think that they are going to end the TV show. The big question, and me and Vance Ruth, who's one of my best friends, he's basically my brother, we have discussed at some certain points in time how we think that the show is going to end and how we think that it should end. So, the final episode, they may take the cheap way out, which, as we all know, would be them saying, "Oh, we made it. Here's the cure." Them taking the cure away. And here's the thing. Me, personally, I don't think anybody wants to see that, because it's like saying, okay, we've been through a lot of shit through all these seasons, and we've kicked and clawed, and many characters have died, and yet we find a cure. If I saw it, it wouldn't be like the worst way to end it, but I think that it would be good. It would be okay. It would be okay. Not great, not good, but okay. It's like, It's like a sour cranberry that you just taste, and it's like, I don't know, I'll still eat it, but you don't like it. So then we'll go on to the second prediction on how I think that they are going to end it. The second prediction may be when it comes down to where they finally kill Rick in the final episode. And here's the thing. Me as a Walking Dead fan, I personally don't think that you could have the show without Rick Grimes. I mean, yeah, you could have it to where Rick Grimes gets killed and they just continue to where Carl takes over the leadership role. But I think that the ratings would drop so far after Rick Grimes dies that people wouldn't really watch it anymore. And that's just my opinion on it. And it wouldn't be bad if Rick died, because in one of my predictions, we'll get to that in a second. And the third and final one could be where they reestablish civilization, where all the zombies, all the threats are far, far away from them, and they finally settle down and they rebuild a new home. And now, discussing that, we're going to move on to the second part where if I were the producer, how I would want it to end. Now, there's many ways that we can do this. One way is that we could have it to where we'll go with the civilization one. Okay, let's take that. So, they find a civilization, and it works. No zombies are near them, no nothing. All the threats are gone. And they have it to where it is now. It's a little bit rusty, but it will work. Then they flash forward about 20 years in the future, and Rick's about 70, and he's the leader of this whole place, and there's a lot of people, and it looks like a brand new city, but it has a wall around it. Here's how I would do that. So, flash forward 20 years later. Rick's 70. he is on his deathbed. And the final thing that he said is that it is everything that I pictured. This is all I wanted for you, Carl. And then his last breath, he breathes, dies. And then Carl says, I have to take his place. And they all say, you are now our leader. And all the town people look up to him and they say, they know that Rick's died. And all the townspeople are lined up on this one street right in front of the courthouse where Rick has just died. And Carl's on the top. And they all say, welcome home. Gone. Now, here's the second thing that I think they will do. When Rick dies, after all the seasons, they're finally saying, you know what, we're going to cut this. So, it's Rick, Carl, and all the main characters. Now, in this season, let's say they met up with a group. So they met up with a group pretty fairly sized, about 15 or 20 people in the group in total. And there's a horde of zombies outside. And they know that they're the last people of civilization. And they say, you know what? We're not going out of this without a fight. We're going to fight our way out of this. And they open the doors and they're just hacking away at the zombies. And then, after the battle, a few of the characters die. And there's one other person who's a different character than Carl and Rick, who's out there fighting. And Carl tries to stop it. And he gets there, yet he's surrounded by walkers. And Rick is over in the other side fighting. He doesn't know the Carl's left. And he turns around and he says, and he sees Carl as a zombie. And he cries. And he goes into a rage. And then he gets bit. And when all the zombies are dead, he falls over. Then it's like a flashback of all the people that he has seen and all the dead people and all the main characters and everybody. And it's him in the coma. And there's Rick sitting there in the bed. There's Shane, there's Carl, there's Lori, every main character. It's like heaven. And he wakes up. And you see us looking over the battle, the camera, looking over all the dead bodies. And then Rick gets up and he's a zombie. And here's the last one. This is kind of short. It's all last season, final episode. And it's the end of the episode. It's near the end. And Rick starts to feel funny. And he wakes up. He's in the coma. And he wakes up. And there's everybody around him. That is not a bad way to end it, but it's like a crying moment. I'd rather have the one that I just did, because that one was a good one. But if he did wake up from the coma and it was all just a dream, he could say, that was one crazy dream. I love you. And they all have a happy ending. And that wouldn't be bad. I actually would like it, but I picked the second one. Tell me what you think in the comments, how you think it would end. Like the video if you did enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe. Right in the comments. Bye.